And that Trump-fueled market rally continues, pushing major averages to new heights, creating a sweet spot for commercial real estate. Look at these numbers. Dow Industrial's up 6.6% since election night, S&P up 4.7%, and the NASDAQ Composite up almost 4%. And then there's this, shares of Marcus and Millichap, a brokerage firm specializing in commercial real estate. Stock is up 20% since Trump's election, and the best times for the industry may still be around the corner. Joining us right now is Marcus and Millichap CEO Hessam Nadji. Hessam, good to see you.
Maria, great to be with you.
Thank you so much for joining us. Take us behind the curtain here. What are you thinking about this Trump rally, seeing your stock participate in it, and really what's behind it in terms of the fundamentals?
Great. It's really about jobs. And if the prospects of job growth have all of a sudden been improved because of the election outcome, if the economic expansion has just now gotten another maybe expansion or a little extension because of the election outcome, that means commercial real estate will perform better. Jobs basically create demand for all kinds of space, including residential space. And our company, because we're national, because we represent all property types within commercial real estate, is a proxy for how people view the commercial real estate world. So the reflationary expectations, the expectations of higher growth because of infrastructure spending, more jobs, is really behind the rally overall. The only downside in the immediate term is that because interest rates reacted accordingly very quickly and unexpectedly, transactions that were being basically closed out this year or in process have gotten delayed. A lot of them are getting repriced because of the interest rate movement. Obviously, you have to re-underwrite the loans. Most commercial real estate transactions are financed at the time of transaction. The vast majority are. So that repricing has created a kind of an immediate challenge, but the long-term prospects have improved.
Wow. What level of interest rates start to become a problem for your industry? We've obviously seen a big move so far, but we're still low by historical standards. What level on the 10-year would cause you to start to worry?
I love that question.
It's really more about the balance of interest rates with what's happening with jobs and occupancies. So there is no set bar, if you will, like at 3% or 4% on the 10-year yield, something awful will happen. If that's happening because we're creating so many more jobs and occupancies are getting even better and rents are growing even faster, the net operating income levels of properties move accordingly with the higher interest rates. And that creates balance in the market. What happens when one or the other happen too quickly, like we just saw in the last 30 days on the interest rate side, you get a little temporary imbalance in the marketplace. And that's what we're experiencing right now, which is delaying transactions and slowing things down in the immediate term.
So a 4% 10-year is okay if we have 4% growth.
Exactly. It's a matter of balance between interest rates and everything else that's going on.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
You have extremely low vacancy rates in a lot of major cities in this country.
That's right.
Miami. One example. What about supply coming on the market?
So one of the benefits of this recovery, unlike past recoveries, has been the silver lining coming out of the financial crisis. The regulatory pressures have actually helped banks stay very disciplined, other industry stay very disciplined. So there hasn't been over-leveraging, and therefore there hasn't been overbuilding. And that's why we really believe that this cycle is sustainable. So construction has been actually very disciplined, except for apartments. We've seen record levels of apartment construction all over the country, and that's due to the preference of the consumer to rent in this recovery versus buy homes. And so it hasn't really created a macro problem, but in roughly a dozen markets around the country, there is clearly overbuilding going on.
Well, we're talking about small business all the time, every day, actually.
Right.
What are you seeing in the wake of, really, in terms of small business taking more space?
Well, the good news is that finally in the last 24 months, really, and not until about 24 months, we saw small business formation and small companies become more medium-sized companies from the standpoint of office occupancy. It took a long time in this recovery. This has been a very slow and gradual recovery, frustrating to everybody. It didn't trickle down to the small business and the medium-sized businesses until about 24 months ago. Now they're adding more jobs, but their concerns are all about what's going to happen in the future. I'll give you one statistic that I think is very indicative of that. Profits are up 25% from the prior peak, but corporate investment is only up 13% from the prior peak. Companies have remained very cautious.
Something Maria talked about every single day on this program.
Yeah.
Every single day.
So if that confidence
they've been sitting on cash. They've been sitting on cash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
We'll see if it's unleashed with this new economic plan of Trump's. That's what we're expecting anyway. Markets are expecting.
He's a real estate dude. Come on.
Yeah.
He's a real estate guy.
You gotta love that in the White House.
He likes brass and smoked glass.
Right.
That is true. And we've done transactions with Mr. Trump in the past. The key thing is inflation getting out of hand. if the growth gets so far ahead of itself and inflation becomes, significantly, more of a problem, then obviously the Fed is going to have to become so aggressive in maintaining inflation they could kill a recovery, and we don't want to see that.
Imagine having this conversation 12 months ago, where we'd be worried about inflation.
Yeah,
I mean,
we were talking about deflation.
It was beginning to creep up. It was beginning to creep up, but not like we're talking about. The animal spirit certainly has been unleashed, as you can see.
In one word, Donald Trump doing business with him, what's it like? In one word.
I haven't personally interacted with him.
But you said you did some transactions.
Yeah, we've done business with Mr. Trump over the years, and it's been very successful. We've had great relationships with those organizations in the past. I have not personally interacted with him.
Hessam, good to see you.
Very nice to be with you.
Thanks so much for joining us, Hessam Nadji there.